your source. If wealth is your source, if gaining possessions is your source, then God is not your source. See? So, and so look at what Jesus is saying. He says, well, we read the 27th verse, but let's go back to the 25th verse. He says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life. He says, don't, in other words, he says, take no thought. Now, when somebody tells you to take no thought, that means don't think about it. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. Don't meditate on it. This is what Jesus is saying. Take no thought for your life. Jesus is saying, don't worry about your life. What Jesus going to tell me, don't worry about my life? He's telling us don't worry about. What do you mean by that? What do you mean, Jesus, don't worry about my life? What do you mean? I got to live? I got to live. Now, Jesus, look, Jesus breaking it down. He says, take no thought for your life. Look, he says, don't worry about your life. Don't worry about what you're going to eat. See? Don't worry about what you're going to eat. He says, don't worry about what you're going to drink. Don't worry about what you're going to put on your body. Don't worry about, don't worry about your, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Don't worry about your clothes. He says, listen, isn't life more important? Right? What does it say? Isn't life more important than food? Or it says meat. And isn't the body more important than the clothes? In other words, this is what Jesus is saying. Jesus is saying, get your priorities straight. That's what Jesus is saying. Mm-hmm. That's what Jesus is saying. Now, okay. So Jesus is saying, get your priorities straight. Go back up to the previous verses that we read. You can't serve two masters at one time. Your priority has to be right. God has to be your source. Yeah. See? So Jesus is telling you, get your priorities straight. Stop worrying, stop meditating on the wrong thing. That's what he's saying. Stop meditating on the wrong thing. Stop worrying about your life. So we put this in today's language. We get up worrying about what's going to happen today. See? What's going to happen today? Instead of getting up and saying, God, thank you. This is the day that the Lord has made. See, I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm glad to see another day. I'm alive. I'm not worried about what's going to happen today. Yeah. I'm just glad to be alive. See, I'm glad to be alive. God, you woke me up this morning. God, thank you for that. Yeah. See, I'm not worried about where I'm going to get my food from. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about what's going to happen on the job today. See, I ain't worried about that because that's not my source. Because mammon is not my master. Yeah. See, mammon is not my master. God is. So now when God is my master, my life is more important than the food. And my body is more important than what I'm going to put on it. Y'all understand that? Y'all got that? See? But that's only when I take no thought for my life. That's only when I don't worry about how I'm going to make it, because I'm making God my source. Yeah. And God is my master. In other words, I'm trusting God. Y'all see that? I'm trusting God. So now, look at what Jesus is saying. Let's go to the 27th verse again. Or let's read the 26th verse over. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are you not much better than they? Are you look, it's a little joke. If I was a bird, I feel offended. What do you mean? What do you mean, Jesus? You talking about humans much more better than us? What do you mean? We are the only creatures created in the image of God. Yeah. See? We're the only creatures that are created in the image of God. So what does that mean? We learned this here in our studies. That man looks like God. Mm-hmm. Man looks like God and man behaves like God. We're the only creatures that do so. An elephant does not look like God. He's not created in his image. An elephant does not behave like God. He's not created after his likeness. Oh, he can't. An elephant can't talk. See, an elephant can't speak. A monkey can't speak. A gorilla can't speak. An alligator can't talk. They're not created in the image of God. We're the only creatures that are created in the image of God. So guess what? Now that with all due respect to the animals, that makes us superior to them.
Right.
That makes us superior to them. That makes us, again, with all due respect to the animals, that makes us better than they are. Why are we better than them? Because we're made in the image of our Creator.
Yeah.
And see what Jesus is saying here? Aren't you much more better than a bird? So now, what is he saying? Why are you worrying about what? Why are you worried? Oh, he said, why are you worrying about life? You see that? Why are you worrying about life? Do the birds worry about life? Nope. They don't worry about life. So aren't you much better than the bird? He said, God takes care of a bird.
Yeah.
He takes care of a bird. He makes sure that they have food to eat. Now, if he takes care of a bird and you're much better than the bird because you're made in his image, don't you think he'll take care